back. He's got a really wonky leg, but he's got, well, he's a lion heart, isn't he?
He is, and one of the, I mean, clearly with 82 worldwide wins, beg your pardon, PGA Tour wins in that 27-year career, one of the best golfing brains out there. I think that's one of the reasons why he has come here for this, one of the reasons why he actually missed out the US Open at Brookline, because this is a very difficult golf course to know. He knows it very, very well indeed. A lot of other players are actually out of the competition already because they won't know what to look for.
No, and that could be his golfing brain, as you say, and knowing links conditions and then embracing it. So he loves that challenge. He's not going, I can't believe it's so windy today, I can't hit my shots 120 feet in the air. He loves the fact that it's like this, and that could be worth a shot a day to him, just in the attitude and in being able to mentally navigate himself around. So we're just watching him go through. He's obviously had a few clipped sand wedges. This is also a wedge of some description, so just kind of hitting these out there around 130.
And as you said, he's gone down to the right-hand side of the range. That's because he wants to try and, as much as possible, to hit into the breeze. Yeah. Webb Simpson was over there on the left-hand side. That was the space that he chose, and it's coming much more over his left shoulder there, so he had to try and hide behind, behind a tent over there on the left to keep himself out of the wind so that he could swing normally.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think Tiger's a shot maker. He's gonna, if you watch that apex number, so that apex is probably right around standard for Tiger. That's 90 feet, and we'll probably see most of these full shots go right around that same height. And then every now and again, if he'll come down, he'll probably hit something in around 60 feet. So he's superb at being able to control ball flight. He works on that a lot. He's kind of got a 9-shot pattern, so a straight shot, a right to left shot, a left to right shot, and then on 3 different heights: mid trajectory, low trajectory, and high trajectory. Those are his 9 shots, and he knows that. That's his system. He's going to work through that in this session that we're going to watch here. So he's controlling the impact. He's controlling the club head speeds, the same club head speeds. That's just going to be a tiny bit lower. See, that finish was just a little bit shorter, more across his body, and just dropped 20 feet off the height. Kind of keeping the same ball speed, kind of keeping the same carry number.
There's almost a rhythm to everything. As well as this rhythm of the swing, a rhythm of, he's following the ball all the way till it's down. Then he turns back. Just watch. Almost get your watch out and sort of time it. Each clip, it's about sort of 20 seconds.
Yeah, I think he's a very systematic guy, and like in the chaos that followed his career, like, I mean, nothing happened for that guy in 2 minutes. He was the needle. He was an icon. He's a legend of our game. He's a sporting legend, and he needed to find his own little space. So that left leg obviously taking much more of the weight and the pressure. But he looked as though he walked pretty well. I mean, the up on the Swilcan Bridge yesterday, big smiley face. I think he and Joey have come here for a purpose, and I think that purpose is to see, like, could I have the magic one more time?
Well, he's always said he only turns up when he feels he can win. For whatever reason, at Brookline he didn't feel that was possible. He, I think, realized the limitations of his modern day body and the results of the accident, and that at Southern Hills, where he had to, I won't say trudge around, but where he had to try and work his way around quite a hilly golf course. Now, of course, this one is flat, but there's an awful lot of awkward foot angles over little humps and hollows and bunkers and things that could prove problematic.
Yeah, and I think there's a different buzz. Tiger came off the golf course at Southern Hills and didn't play the US Open at Brookline because of this tournament this week, and it was because it was the Open Championship, and it was because it's at St Andrews, and you can tell what's on his mind. He was prepared to sacrifice those 2 results for this event. So it matters to him. So we're just watching him. Look, watch that apex number. he would probably normally have a full shot at around, well, let's say 110 feet of apex. These are coming in 50 feet, 40 feet below, so really working to try to reduce the number at the bottom. That's the curve number. So he's playing with the launch, he's playing with the speeds. So maybe a 4-iron there. That's a real bunty one. We watch the launch there. 5.
Yeah.
Okay, apex 30 feet. So that's really kind of like a stinger shot there.
Look at the breeze though, Simon. Everybody's talking about how easy this golf course is going to be. I'm not so sure.
Oh no, I don't think this will be easy. And then just look at the stingers there. That's launching just a few degrees, 6 degrees there. So the challenge of the golf course, you know, is the bunkers are one-shot penalties, so you need to navigate your way around out of that. And when it's really bouncy and kind of slopey, you're going to have lucky bounces and unlucky bounces, and you're going to have to ride that out. And then it's going to be, where are you going to putt from? You know, where is your first putt coming from? I mean, you could try to hit it all the way up by the green, and maybe some of the guys will go for that. Is that what Bryson's going to go for? But you're going to make some huge numbers there. You're not navigating and plotting your way around the golf course. So, like, a yardage to the pin is probably the most irrelevant number this week, especially in the winds. And it's where's the flat spot in front of the green? Can I land my ball there in 2? And do I have a decent first putt?
Yeah, that's spot on, isn't it? A lot of players won't be able to control the bounce. A lot of players won't be thinking about the flat parts. Their style is distance, getting it down there as close as they possibly can. That's the new way to play the game. It's not the clever way to get it around a links golf course. It's not the smart way to get it around a place like this.
No, and I'll tell you, a man who would have woken up this morning, looked out the window and gone, thank goodness for that, is a guy like Shane Lowry. Shane Lowry will look at this and go, oh, fantastic. Because 7/8 of the field will be eliminated. They won't manage it.
Yeah, Yardy's book, a total waste of time. It's just got to play the feel. The gust makes it tougher to judge, of course, but you got to know where the bounces will take your golf ball, or where you don't want them to take your golf ball. And if those just that send it high into the sky, you're going to lose control over it. Stepping his way up there. Has he got to the big stick? Looked like he got the big stick there, I thought. Is it?
Let's have a look. Is this one down from the big stick? That's on the ground. So the Tiger Woods swing. So weight shift's really different now. Kind of moves off the ball with the takeaway, moves into his right side, but he's by the top of the backswing, he's really kind of recentered. So he's much more kind of 50-50 on his feet. And then it's all about, well, the core, the hips, and sort of using that left leg to take the pressure. So take a look at this, kind of like chest and arms go together. Okay, here we go. Watch his feet there. So it kind of goes off and back. There's not a huge push off that right foot as there used to be, so the left leg is probably taking a bit more of the pressure. But if you watch the JP McManus Pro-Am, I mean, there were a couple of shots where you went, wow. And I also thought he drove the ball great. So I don't think this is such a busted body that it can't produce a winning set of scores. I don't think that's what we're looking at. I'd say the stamina required to get around the golf course over 4 days is probably more, so the walking is probably more the liability for Tiger than anything else. So that's a toe hit. He hates that.
Yeah, turned that one over a little bit too much into the breeze, didn't go very far. Yeah, I think because kind of harp on about the physical limitations, because this has been arguably the best golfer that has ever walked the face of the planet. But of course, there's a mental and physical drain with contending with the discomfort that you has to deal with as well. Yeah,
well, Tiger played with Steve Myron and Phil Jansen and those guys, Peter Jones last week, and then the feedback was, Tiger's on 3 ice baths a day. So the amount of effort that it takes him to just get to here. These are beautiful shots, just holding it up in the wind there.
I mean, that's tremendous to hear that. Giving the viewer the opportunity to know the level of commitment and dedication he still has to this.
Andrew, I think that's exactly right. It's like, this is a great pro, one of the great pros we've ever had in the game. This guy loves the game of golf. Wow, look at that ball flare with the wind. That is totally gone. So kind of launch that up 100 feet and 101 feet of left to right curve. So yeah, wind conditions. So now out with driver.
I know this was just a little reminder. This was earlier this morning. He was out there just before 8 o'clock going through these warming up routine. I saw him hitting a couple of drivers earlier on, and he still gets the distance on it, which amazes me with the back surgeries and all the other things that he's had to contend with.
Yeah, so we'll just watch a little bit of the ball speed. That kind of gives the indication. Looking for around 170. Yeah, so I'd say that was kind of like his number right now. That wasn't the hardest drive he's got in the bag. 290 carry, and it's obviously been impacted by the wind. A huge curve there. So power, the amount of power Tiger can generate is easy enough to be able to play this week.
Man, the first athlete ever to reach $1 billion in career earnings, including endorsements. That's what you're looking at. Played a PGA Tour record, 142 events without missing the cut.
Yeah, you know, he's changed everything in our sport. You know, you have guys who, like Jon Rahm, came to the top of the game and has fallen off. Scotty Scheffler rose, fell. Tiger was there on and off for 10 years. I mean, his dips were nothing. He was so dominant. He set a new set of scores. He changed the game. He changed the mental side. He changed the physical side. And he made the sport better.
Led the PGA Tour scoring average 9 times in only 2 years. He didn't from 99 to 2009, was 2004 and 2008.
So you see Tiger just working around there. That dropped down, so you can see that's the lower one that was teed down a little bit. See how he's dropped that underneath the ball. You can't even see the ball. Oh, lovely tracer there. So held that one much more against the wind. So he's playing with that launch angle, using a little bit of a strike points there. So Tiger anticipating wind and just trying to get his feels going. Okay, a little bit more right side through, trying to hold that one against the wind. That's a bit more of a draw ball. Launched it higher, 170. That's probably the stock driver for Tiger Woods, 290 carry.
2 Open Championship victories on this hallowed turf, 2000, 2005. Going for the triple. A man that has come back so many times from adversity. And one thing I think we've all realised in our time is never underestimate him, or do so at your peril.
Just the desire, isn't it? You can see him really working the ball around now. That was a big old draw. And these are just kicking in right around that 170, 175 ball speed. Lower flight, drop the launch by 5 degrees from